Look, if you think retirement at 30 is some fantasy reserved for tech billionaires or crypto bros who got lucky, you're dead wrong. I retired at 31, and I'm going to tell you exactly how I did it, and more importantly, how you can do it too without winning the lottery or inheriting a fortune from a rich uncle. Most people have this completely backwards. They think retirement means sitting on a beach doing nothing for the rest of your life. That's not what I'm talking about. Real retirement means having enough passive income to cover your lifestyle so that working becomes optional, not mandatory. It means you wake up and choose what you want to do, not what you have to do to pay the bills. When I was 22, I was making decent money, but I was also spending it like an idiot. Designer clothes, expensive dinners, a car I couldn't really afford. I looked successful, but my bank account told a different story. Then I had a wake-up call when I got sick for 2 weeks and couldn't work. I realized if I couldn't work, the money stopped coming in, and that terrified me. That's when I decided things had to change. So if I had to start over today and retire by 30, here's exactly what I'd do. I'm breaking this down into 4 phases because trying to do everything at once is how most people fail before they even get started. Phase 1 is the income explosion. You cannot save your way to early retirement on a mediocre salary. I don't care how many lattes you skip or how much you meal prep, the math just doesn't work. You need to dramatically increase your income, and you need to do it fast. Here's the truth nobody wants to hear. Your 9-to-5 job is probably not going to get you there. Sure, keep it for now because you need stable income, but you need something else running alongside it. When I decided to get serious, I started a service-based side business doing marketing consulting. I chose this because the startup costs were basically zero, and I could charge premium prices from day one. But here's the key. I didn't try to serve everyone. I specifically targeted one type of business in one industry that I knew had money and needed help. For me, it was real estate agents who were making 6 figures but had no idea how to market themselves online. I charged $2,000 per month per client, and within 6 months I had 5 clients. That's an extra $10,000 per month on top of my salary. You might be thinking that sounds great for you, but I don't have those skills. Well, neither did I when I started. I learned as I went, charged less at first, and got better. The skill you choose doesn't matter as much as you think. What matters is that you pick something businesses will pay for, you get decent at it quickly, and you charge what you're worth. Some options that work incredibly well right now include running paid ads for local businesses, managing social media for entrepreneurs, creating content for coaches and consultants, building simple websites for service providers, or doing email marketing for e-commerce brands. Pick one, get your first client within 2 weeks, and scale from there. Phase 2 is the savings rate shock. Once you're making more money, this is where most people screw it up. They start earning more and immediately inflate their lifestyle. Bigger apartment, nicer car, fancier restaurants. Their income goes up, but their savings stay the same or barely increase. I did the opposite. When my side income hit $10,000 per month, I didn't touch it. Not a single dollar. I kept living on my salary like nothing had changed. This is called maintaining your lifestyle baseline, and it's the secret weapon of everyone who retires early. Here's how the math works. Let's say you're making $4,000 per month from your job and spending $3,500 to live. You're saving $500, which is about 12%. Not bad, but not enough. Now you add $6,000 per month from your side business. Most people would start spending $8,000 or $9,000 per month because they can afford it. Instead, you keep spending $3,500. Now you're saving $6,500 per month, which is a 62% savings rate. That difference is absolutely massive. At a 12% savings rate, you'd need to work for about 40 years to retire. At a 62% savings rate, you can retire in about 12 years. And if you push that even higher to 70% or 75%, you're looking at under 10 years. I know what you're thinking. Saving 60% or 70% of your income sounds impossible. But remember, you're not saving 70% of your original income, you're saving 70% of your new much higher income. Your lifestyle costs haven't changed, only your income has. Phase 3 is the investment acceleration. Saving money is pointless if it's just sitting in a checking account, getting destroyed by inflation. You need to put that money to work immediately and aggressively. I split my investments into 3 buckets. The foundation bucket got 60% of my money and went into boring index funds. Specifically, I put most of it into a total stock market index fund and some into an international index fund. Nothing sexy, nothing exciting, just consistent long-term growth averaging around 10% per year historically. The growth bucket got 30% of my money, and this is where I took more calculated risks. I invested in individual stocks of companies I believed in, some real estate through crowdfunding platforms, and later some cryptocurrency. This bucket had higher potential returns but also higher risk, which is why it was a smaller portion. The cash bucket got the final 10% and stayed in a high-yield savings account. This was my opportunity fund. When the market crashed or when I found an incredible deal, I had cash ready to deploy immediately. This bucket also served as my emergency fund, so I never had to sell investments at the wrong time. The key here is automation. I set up automatic transfers the day after I got paid. The money moved from my checking account into my investment accounts before I even had a chance to think about spending it. If you rely on willpower and manual transfers, you'll fail. Automate everything. Phase 4 is the retirement number calculation. You can't retire early if you don't know your number. Most people have no idea how much money they actually need, so they just keep working forever hoping someday they'll have enough. Here's how to figure it out. First, calculate your annual expenses. Be honest and realistic. Don't lowball it because you'll just be lying to yourself. Let's say you spend $40,000 per year to live comfortably. Now multiply that by 25. That's $1 million. That's your retirement number using the 4% rule. The 4% rule says you can safely withdraw 4% of your portfolio each year without running out of money. So if you have $1 million invested, you can take out $40,000 per year indefinitely. If you need $60,000 per year, your number is $1.5 million. If you can live on $30,000 per year, your number drops to $750,000. This is why controlling your expenses is so powerful. Every dollar you cut from your annual spending reduces your retirement number by $25. Cut $10,000 from your annual expenses, and you just reduced your retirement number by $250,000. That could be years off your working life. But here's where it gets interesting. You don't actually need to hit your full number to retire if you have other income streams. Let's say your number is $1 million, but you also have a side business generating $20,000 per year passively. Now you only need $800,000 invested because that business covers $20,000 of your annual expenses. This is exactly what I did. By the time I was 30, I had about $650,000 invested, and my online businesses were generating around $35,000 per year with minimal work from me. My annual expenses were $45,000, so I needed $10,000 from my investments. Using the 4% rule, I only needed $250,000 invested to cover that gap. I had way more than enough. Now let's talk about the mistakes that will destroy your early retirement plans. Mistake 1 is lifestyle creep. I've said it already, but I'll say it again because it's that important. The fastest way to never retire is to spend every raise and every bonus. Keep your expenses stable even as your income explodes. Mistake 2 is not tracking your numbers. You need to know exactly how much you're making, how much you're spending, how much you're saving, and how much you're investing. I reviewed my numbers every single week without fail. It takes 10 minutes and keeps you on track. Mistake 3 is waiting for the perfect time to start. There's never a perfect time. Start now with whatever you have. If you can only save $200 per month right now, fine, save $200 per month and work on increasing your income. Action beats perfection every single time. Mistake 4 is giving up when things get hard. There will be months where your side business makes nothing. There will be market crashes that cut your portfolio in half. There will be times when you want to quit and just live like everyone else. Don't. Push through. The difference between people who retire early and people who don't is that the ones who make it just refuse to quit. So here's your action plan starting today. First, calculate your retirement number based on your current annual expenses. Second, start a high-income side business this week, not next month, this week. Third, set up automatic investments into index funds with at least 50% of your income. Fourth, track everything and review your progress weekly. Look, retiring at 30 isn't easy. If it was, everyone would do it. But it's absolutely possible if you're willing to work harder than everyone else for a few years so you can live better than everyone else for the rest of your life. I did it, And if you follow this plan, you can too.